This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to the AWS training program. And today's topics are code commit and code build. So in our previous class, we talked about two things. One thing is Git, which is not a AWS product, but that's a very common code versioning tool and used by, you can say, most of the developers. Another topic we talked about is CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. So now in order to achieve that concept, because CI/CD is a concept, so in order to achieve continuous integration and continuous deployment, AWS is providing few tools or few services which we will be exploring. So today we'll talk about code commit and code build. So let's start with the agenda. The agenda for today's class is overview of code commit, create a repository in code commit, configure SSH access to code commit, overview of code build, create a code build project, run a code build project, and monitor a code build run. All these things we will be doing practically on AWS console so that we can understand in more better way. So code commit is a highly scalable and managed Git based source control service. Why I'm saying it's a Git based? Because whatever concepts are there in Git, like creating a repository, you can create a branch, you can commit some code, you can create a pull request, and all the Git commands, Git clone or Git commit, Git push, Git add, all those commands you can execute here as well. The only difference is that Git is managed by altogether different organization and code commit is an AWS service. But the concept is same. So when you are developing your code, it's completely up to you whether you want to store it into the GitHub or you want to store it into your code commit. So today we are talking about code commit. So I will show you how to create a repository and we will execute few commands as well. So you can see this one, you can create a repository to store your code without worrying about hardware and software configuration. That means where exactly your Git server is running and all these things you don't need to worry about because that is completely taken care by AWS. It helps to collaborate on the code with branching, pull request, and merging. Multiple people may be working on multiple feature branches, so you can do that. And in order to merge the change, as we discussed in the last class, that as a developer, you may be making some code changes. And then instead of directly committing that into the main branch, you create a pull request so that some senior guy, some team lead or some architect can review your code and accordingly we can merge the code into the main branch. And definitely you can control who can make changes to specific branches. Usually the production branch or some specific branch, right? You can protect that branches so that someone deliberately or by mistake should not make any code commit to those branches because that can affect your applications. So this is very brief brief concept about code commit. Now we'll do it practically. So create a code commit repo. So that day we created a repository on GitHub, but today we will be creating a repository on our AWS. So just give me a moment. We'll be opening our. Okay. So this is my AWS console and I'm already logged in. We'll search for code commit. Yeah. Click on code commit. So you can see now there is no repository, but that's fine. We can create one. Okay. We can give some name. Yeah, we can give this code commit test repo. And that's all, nothing else. If you want to provide some meaningful description, otherwise it's okay. You can click on create. Yeah, repo is created. It's very easy process. Now the second process is how to connect to your repo. One way is you can directly upload some file here. You can see this one, empty repository, because there is no file as of now. You can add file from here, create or upload. But we always do not directly upload from the browser. We should be able to do it with help of commands, because suppose there are hundreds of files and out of 100, 4 files I am, you can say, updating. So those 4 files I want to quickly commit into the repository with help of commands instead of manually uploading. But anyway, I can show you that this thing as well, like how to upload. So we'll quickly do this, upload file, and then we can choose some file from my local, maybe this one, buildspec.yml. Okay, and author name and email address, so that for your tracking purpose, like who added this file, you can do that. So let's see. So I'm uploading one file, providing the details and just some commit message, just for so that someone is looking at your history, they can understand like why this file was uploaded. So I'm just doing that and commit changes. You can see now. So in my repository, I have uploaded one XML file, which is buildspec.yml. What's the purpose of that file? I will explain in the next section of the class. But as of now, you can just consider that it's a simple file which is uploaded into the repository. Okay, that's good. Now coming back to like how to access this from some other, you can say, command line terminal or Cloud9 or something else. So we'll see that and how to do that configuration. Just give me a moment. Because when we created our first repository, this is the different ways to connect. Okay, so there are different ways to connect to the repository. One thing is simply browser. Another thing is with HTTPS or SSH or HTTPS. So there are many ways to do it, but we will be talking about only one way. This is SSH based. So what is SSH is, you have to generate SSH key on your system from where you